Hello, everyone, and welcome to Down Bad, the self-help podcast where I, Jody Johnson, talk about everything mental health related, from the challenges that we face to the celebrations that take place. On the show, I use my vulnerability in hopes that the more we as humans talk, share, and work together, the more we make mental health care accessible and acceptable for every single human being out there. This journey is yours and no one else's. Not your mom's, your dad's, your siblings, your significant others, your neighbors. No one's. It's yours every single step of the way. So thanks for being here and staying true to yourself, even in times of uncertainty and discomfort. New episodes release every Thursday. It's 6:15 and I'm breaking my no caffeine past 5 p.m. rule, but who cares? You only live once. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. And if you're a new listener, welcome to the podcast. I'm Jody, the host, and today I got you guys here to talk about something that might sound simple to you, but it's actually way harder than it seems, even to me. That's being present in our thankfulness. And before we begin diving into the nature of this episode, I do want to set some cultural context of gratitude because Thanksgiving is around the corner. A holiday specifically centered around expressing our gratitude. It's a time of year where families come together to reflect on what they're thankful for. And every year we go around our dining room or kitchen table, wherever you eat Thanksgiving dinner, and we actually say out loud what we're thankful for. But how many of us can honestly say we're truly present in that moment? Or does it just feel like some sort of routine? Because to me, sometimes, this annual focus on thankfulness can feel forced or nonchalant. Because we've commercialized Thanksgiving. There's no doubt about it. We have Black Friday sales, Cyber Monday, food items, many, many things that we've decided to commercialize rather than staying true to the original purpose of reflection and thanks. And I also don't want us to forget that Thanksgiving is not the only holiday around the world that focuses on gratitude. There's holidays such as Diwali, the Hindu Festival of Lights, the Lunar New Year, the Chinese New Year, and Eid, a Muslim holiday. And I share these even though I lack knowledge in them because gratitude manifests itself differently depending on your cultural, religious, or even non-religious values. And please forgive me for my lack of knowledge in how yours individually manifests, but I share because in many cultures, gratitude isn't just about a personal feeling. It's about so much more. It's about communal sharing and giving back to the people around you. I think that's an important note because in our culture, we're starting to see an increase in popularity in gratitude practices. Things like gratitude journaling have become a popular self-help trend. And I'm guilty of it. I'm someone who hops on the podcast and encourages listeners to write down things that they're grateful for every day. However, I also acknowledge that I struggle with journaling because I'm not doing it just to check off a box to make me feel better about my day. I'm journaling with intention to either prepare or to reflect. I can't journal by rushing to get it done like a homework assignment. If I wake up late and I don't have time to be able to journal, I can't do it. I can only do it by giving myself 2 minutes to write down 3 to 5 things that I'm grateful for, or 5 to 10 minutes to actually sit down and reflect. And I share this because keeping a gratitude list is suggested to increase your well-being. That's by science. Meditation and mindfulness are also two more increasingly popular practices that emphasize gratitude because they encourage you to live in the present moment, even if those moments are moments of struggle. And I mean, people are really out here normalizing these kind of practices and making them a part of our normal routines. I love that this is happening. Personally, I'm all for it. But we do have to ask ourselves the question, do they make us more grateful, or are we a part of another trend just to feel more productive? Because as you know, social media always is going to influence our culture. Gratitude plus social media, I don't know if that's really a good thing. Because apps like Instagram and TikTok, they promote what almost feels like a performative type of gratitude. But That's exactly what I'm getting to in this episode, is that I think that there is a true difference between a real, deep, reflective gratitude and, the surface level gratitude that people love to post online nowadays. The showing off of expensive gifts, the vacation pictures, the family moments during holidays. And I ask the question, is this still gratitude? Or is it more about signaling to other people, people that don't give two shits about you, how much you have to be thankful for? Where are all those little things in your life that you have to be grateful for? To me, it feels like gratitude on apps like Instagram and TikTok. It looks like a shiny, perfect moment. But do we really feel more thankful after scrolling through somebody else's highlight reel? Do we? Guys, I'm having this conversation today for a plethora of reasons. I don't even know if I use that word right. I don't know why I just said it. But anyways, I'm having this talk today because I know the importance that being present in my thankfulness has in my life. Without it, I think that I would have many more regrets about, the last few weeks, the last few months with my grandmother before she passed away. But I knew her health was starting to deteriorate, and I did not know how much time that I had left with her. But instead of avoiding things like I've done my entire life, I decided to be present with her. Whenever I was with her, be fully present with her. And it was hard, it was difficult, it was uncomfortable, but I knew how much it would mean to me to actually be there with her. Like, I focused on smells, I focused on temperatures, I focused on so many things that I never focus on, just to be there and present with her. And I can't tell you how grateful I am to have done that before she passed away. And then I also am sharing this topic with you guys because gratitude is a very powerful and scientifically studied emotion. That's why I'm dedicating a whole entire episode to it. So how about we actually dive into those things that gratitude actually benefits, like our mental health, positive emotions and well-being, the reduced depression and anxiety, the improved self-esteem, we experience from just practicing gratitude. When we shift our focus from, what we lack in our lives and begin to see and appreciate all the good that we have in our lives, things change for us. We reduce our stress, lower cortisol levels. Your body is releasing less cortisol. We're improving our resilience and we're getting better sleep. And as I've said in a couple of episodes before, a part of our ANS, we have two systems within it: fight or flight and relax or recovery. When we promote the relaxation and recovery side in our bodies and our minds, then we become more equipped to reduce and manage our stress better. We see in improved relationships by practicing gratitude, strengthened social bonds, increased pro-social behaviors, conflict reduction. And if you were with me in last episode, it's okay if not. I talked about how practicing kindness to ourselves can actually transform others, because it can. When we're grateful, when we practice gratefulness, we extend these positive emotions onto other people. We have to trust the ripple effect, and we're not always going to see it, but it's happening. If you yourself can influence 1,000 people, and those 1,000 people can influence another 1,000 people, then you've indirectly helped 1 million people. And you're not going to meet all those 1 million people. You just have to trust the process. The effects are also neurobiological, because we're activating reward centers. We're creating a positive feedback loop, because by practicing gratitude, we're literally tricking a part of our brain that's associated with feelings of pleasure and reward. And this kind of activation in our brain is similar to receiving something. So when you receive something, you are creating a positive feedback loop, which is good. And what being present in thankfulness looks like in our everyday lives is, gratitude for family and for the people that you love. This is through actively listening, showing your affection, and spending time with those people. Gratitude for your career or your education looks like acknowledging your growth, appreciating the colleagues and peers that you have. That one's pretty difficult sometimes. And mindful breaks. Gratitude for your health looks like being present during your exercises or your workouts. It's celebrating the small wins. It's eating mindfully. Gratitude for small moments. It's enjoying the beauty of nature because there's so much beauty in nature. It's savoring what we eat and drink. It's allowing ourselves to have a moment of silence and not moments of just crazy noises going on. Gratitude for our everyday conveniences, which we often forget about or take for granted. We do this by acknowledging our comforts. We celebrate, the technology that we use in our everyday lives, and it's actually being grateful for transportation. And, I was just in the shower a few minutes ago, and I was on my knees praying to God, and I was sitting there just telling him how thankful I was for my truck and to be able to go get gas so that I can get from point A to point B to point C. Like, I even take my vehicle and transportation for granted. Gratitude for our personal growth, well, that looks like reflecting on the lessons that we actually learned. It's celebrating our self-compassion, and it's being present with our emotions and not running from or avoiding them. Having gratitude for a supportive community looks like helping others. It looks like acknowledging other small acts of kindness. And lastly, gratitude for this moment, right here, right now, looks like mindful breathing. It looks like appreciating that we were even granted or given today. Being present and thankfulness means that we engage fully with the life that we are living right now. We're not waiting for something extraordinary to happen. We're appreciating the ordinary, everyday experiences in our lives. But guys, it's easy. It's really almost too easy to get lost in the chaos of life. I often do it. Numerous things like work, social media, and our own personal struggles make it harder to appreciate what we have. The chaos of things, they even make me want to rush through this life and not put on the brakes. All gas, no brakes, as you may have heard before. But there's a major, major, major difference between rushing through life and pausing to be aware of what you're actually grateful for. And it's difficult to practice gratitude in moments of hardship or adversity because they can present challenges like emotional overwhelm or perceived injustice or unfairness, difficulty shifting our focus, the fear of invalidating emotions, lack of immediate rewards, the things that we want right now, the negative thinking, the neurotic thinking, cultural or social pressures, and the inability to see the bigger picture or to be able to think long term. And guys, I know that these challenges can produce feelings of stress, of sadness, of frustration, whatever it may be. What if embracing gratitude during these moments could actually lead you to emotional resilience and personal growth that you've been waiting for a long time now? And guys, I'm not trying to invalidate anything that you're going through because there is no doubt about how difficult these moments can be for us. But they also can be an essential part of our healing. And I know we can. I know we can overcome these challenges by practicing mindfulness and gratitude in our daily lives. But we have to remember that it's going to take practice and consistency. I'm not an expert and I'm not even perfect at practicing gratitude, but still, here I am offering you guys 10 different gratitude practices that you can incorporate into your everyday lives. The first is gratitude journaling. This is setting a few minutes aside in your day to focus on not only the big things, but even the small things. For example, mine could be, today I'm grateful for the support of my community and the people around me as I get ready to race a marathon on Sunday. The warmth and comfort of my office space and studio this evening, and for the good old food in my belly. The next is mindful breathing. This is setting aside a few minutes in your day to intentionally focus on your breathing, the inhale and the exhale. Try to do this naturally throughout the day, before you get out of bed, at lunch, or when you're feeling stressed. For me, I sit comfortably with my eyes closed and I take 2 short breaths through my nose and 1 long exhale out of my mouth. This breathing exercise that I do is known as the physiological sigh, which is suggested to ease our stress and anxiety. And it looks like this. You see, and when I do that, I immediately feel, that anxiety and that stress start to ease off of me a little bit. And breathing exercises are not one size fits all. The exercise I just did may work for you, it may not. I just know that it helps me and I use it in moments of stress. The third is morning and nightly gratitude practices, which is essentially taking a few moments in the morning or at night to reflect on things that we're grateful for. This is something that you could incorporate into your morning and nightly routine. Like when I wake up, I say to myself, in my head, thank you, God, for waking me up, for giving me the tomorrow that yesterday I did not know existed. So even if I don't get to journal, at least the first thing that I did this morning was to thank God for another day. And as a nightly reflection, what I simply do is, this is what I did today. This is something that I could have done better. Tomorrow, I'll take the next step. The fourth is mindful eating. I read about this in a book over the summer. I think it was in this book actually right here, Anger by Thich Nhat Hanh. Hopefully I pronounce his name right. I don't think I ever do in class, but it completely changed the way that I eat, because it's paying close attention to the food you're eating as you eat it. And my advice to you is to avoid your distractions and actually focus on eating as your experience. So when I eat now, I express thanks in my mind. That's the practice that I use. I mostly eat ground turkey and chicken. So I literally thank the animals for their life and for providing me with nutrients. And the majority of stuff that I buy, I didn't hunt or harvest myself. So it's easy for me to look past everyone's hard work that brought food to my table, that brought food to your table. So I also take time to appreciate all the people who have prepared the food that I'm eating in the stores that I'm buying it from. The fifth is mindful walking. For me, I have a weird mind. I only consider walking an exercise if I'm being intentional with it, so I won't count it as a workout unless I've been intentional. And by intentional, I mean slow, deliberate, and focusing on the sensation of my feet actually hitting the ground. So while you walk, you can use each step to think about the things that you're grateful for. Your family, your health, good weather. I mean, maybe not if you're in the Northeast right now, but if you're down south, then I hope you're grateful for your weather. If not, we got problems. So, for example, my thoughts on a walk might go, I'm thankful to be healthy, to have a body that is willing to be able to walk through this neighborhood or on this beautiful trail. 6 is mindful listening. When you're talking to someone, you can practice being fully there. Listen, don't interrupt them, don't guess what's next. This is challenging, I know, but let this person whom you're talking to, let their words enter the atmosphere that you guys both take up without rushing to judgment or providing them with an immediate response. Active listening, mindfulness listening, has the power to strengthen relationships. For me, I love to multitask, but when someone is talking to me, when someone is speaking to me, I think it's important for me to give them my full attention, especially if it's someone that I'm grateful for the opportunity to share and connect with. Number 7 is setting intentions for your day. Taking a few moments in the morning or even the night before, who cares, to set intentions for the day that align with gratitude and mindfulness. They can be simple. You do not have to overcomplicate things in this life. You're using intentions as a guide in your day to look for moments to appreciate. Again, it does not have to be overcomplicated. It can be very simple. Like for me, I can set an intention to appreciate the little things in my day because it reminds me to always look for the good in people. Because if not, I can become very cynical and very evil very quickly. Number 8 is gratitude reminders. This is giving yourself a visual reminder of things to be grateful for. When you see, photos, quotes, or objects around your house or workspace, take a moment, take a second, a minute to pause and actually feel that gratitude. Don't let it be a fleeting moment. So, as you guys know by now, I live in an apartment by myself. So, of course, the naked walls drove me insane very fast. So I have many gratitude reminders just here in the studio alone. In front of me, I have pictures of people that I love. My grandmother's urn, my plaque from Active Minds from the conference this summer. I have books up there. To the left of me, if you can see on the video, I have more books. To the right on the wall, these were some of the first things that I hung up. It's my marathon training sheet from when I got done cross country. There's 2 papers that have writing on them. One says, "Go one more," Nick Bear's quote, which I absolutely love. I had to write that down and put it up there. And another one that says, "Death is not your savior. Jesus is." And then behind me, as you guys can see, unless you're an Apple Podcast listener, all of my cross-country bibs from this season, as well as, 3 frames that my friend Sam got me of the first newspaper that I was featured in for the podcast. Number 9 is having gratitude during challenges. Guys, this can be so fucking hard when your world feels overwhelming, but this is actually taking a few moments in your day to reflect on one thing that you control or, just one positive step that you've taken in your day. Focus on those tiny W's to shift your attention from, what is going wrong in your life. Take those small wins. Please do. So for me, that's instead of dwelling on the pressure of, how high my plate is stacked, it's being grateful for how well I'm managing and prioritizing my tasks. Like, how the hell did I manage cross country in my first year of grad school while maintaining a 4.0, while recording episodes, while maintaining social relationships? Like, how the hell did I do all of this? I need to be grateful to myself. I need to show that love to myself. I need to embrace my self-compassion. 10, the last one, gratitude meditation. This is setting aside time in your day to practice anchoring yourself to the present moment. Sit, stand, lie comfortably, whatever you got to do to be comfortable, with your eyes closed, not asleep, and shift your attention to your breathing. The air flowing through your nose, the rise and the fall of your chest and your abdomen, the activation of all the muscles that help you breathe that you don't realize that you're using. Like, if my mind is wandering when I'm meditating, which it often does, this ADHD-ass brain, instead of being a man and getting mad at myself for it, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why can't you just focus for 5 seconds, as my mind would like to do? Instead of doing that, I just gently focus on my breathing with no judgment. Like today on the bike, my mind kept wandering. Like, I didn't want to sit there for 40 minutes and do my recovery bike, but I just kept going. To anchor myself and actually be there. Because gratitude, guys, again, it has the power to deepen our relationships. And that's not just with family, friends, and romantic partners. It has the power to deepen your relationship with yourself. But with your family, it reinforces love and support. With your friends, it reinforces mutual respect, shared experiences, and emotional reciprocity. With your emotional partner, it reinforces love, trust, emotional intimacy. But why does it deepen our relationships? Because gratitude increases our emotional well-being. It increases trust. It increases and encourages emotional reciprocity. It's a powerful, powerful tool that, when used genuinely, can transform our relationships. And again, I'm not going to let you guys stop hearing these words. You gotta take the small wins. Grab those small W's and run with them. You gotta shift your focus from big life events to appreciating the small daily wins, learning how to be thankful for simple things like a nice meal, a compliment, or just a quiet moment. But what I don't want you guys to confuse is gratitude and toxic positivity, because I do need to stress the importance of finding a balance between being thankful and acknowledging our struggles or negative feelings rather than ignoring our real world problems. So remember, gratitude is a tool, not a mask. You still have to acknowledge your own struggles and hardships. Toxic positivity is dangerous. So show gratitude while you're also showing your vulnerability. Gratitude is our guide to reframing our behaviors, our thoughts, our you name it, because I can't right now. Our true growth and true resilience will come from honoring those hard moments, but also being grateful. So guys, take something that you learned from me today, or something that I reminded you of, and add it to your routine. Grab that journal that's collecting dust and spend 5 minutes in it. Text or call a friend to thank them. And if you need ideas for integrating your gratitude into your rituals or habits, or if you feel like you don't have any time to do that, I'm telling you, you need to make time for it. Do it in the morning, before you eat, before you go to sleep, when you're feeling overwhelmed. And from the wise words of Shia LaBeouf and Nike, just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Okay, I've gone on too far. I need to stop quoting Shia LaBeouf. But anyways, remember that practicing gratitude and thankfulness during tough times, it's not easy at all. It really isn't. But what we have to do is focus on our own personal growth, the small moments of peace and tranquility, as well as learning from, the challenges that we're experiencing in our lives. I don't know about you guys, but I really needed to have this talk today. It was a gentle reminder to me that gratitude isn't just a word that we say, it's a practice that requires us to be present and aware. And I'm going to encourage you guys to take one actionable step to practice gratitude today. So again, text or call someone you appreciate right now, or take 5 minutes to reflect on one thing that you're grateful for. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, if you resonated with it, then please leave me a 5-star review, subscribe or follow the channel to whatever you're viewing this or listening to this on. And if you know a friend going through a difficult time right now, send this episode to them, share it with them, give them a resource. And if you're still following along, donate to my fundraiser, because I'm running the Philadelphia Marathon in this weekend, like 2 days from now, with Team Active Minds to promote and spread awareness for mental health, especially among young adults. So thank you guys again for tuning in. Next week, I'm talking about refusing to conform. And don't forget to stay up to date with Down Bad on social media. The Instagram for the podcast is Down Bad, a podcast. My personal Instagram and YouTube are jodimfjohnson, Jody spelled Jodi. And in my Instagram bio, it has my link tree full of all my links to anything that you can think of, including my fundraiser for Active Minds to run the Philadelphia Marathon. But as always, thank you guys for being here. Please be kind to your mind, your body, and the earth. And I will see you guys next time. Au revoir.